Hey again and welcome to a new video. So today I will doing another coaching session, this time for another player, so to say. He sent me his match ID, so I'm replaying his match, and while replaying I'm saying what I think he could improve or what I think he did good or something. And first of all, again, I will do some explanation for Pip on Frogeye because that's the map he's playing on, and after it I will replay his game and see what he does. Let's start with the general tips for Pip. Okay, so first of all, I think Frogger isn't the best map for Pip, especially when you're playing Combat Medic, because it's so hard to keep your team healed while being behind cover, because Pip has such a huge hitbox and such a huge head hitbox, so it's really hard for you especially against better players, to really sustain or stay alive, because it's so easy for a sniper on this map to one-shot you or something, because your head hitbox is so huge and it's so easy to actually hit your head or to hit you.
Three, two,
Get used to this.
one. The battle has begun.
So I'm showing some spots where you could play. So imagine you're not playing against a sniper or backline DPS, which happens like never. But if you got the one game where you don't play against, I don't know, Victor, Kinessa, Strix, Lian, or other backline DPS, you could set up here to make it easier for you to actually heal the point, because here you have a lot of high ground advantage. It's so easy to hit my shots on the point. As you can see, I can heal the whole point, so it's pretty nice for me to heal my team. If your DPS is playing on the little thingy, then use your potion on your DPS. You actually can heal down here, so it's really great. But if you're not, or if you're playing against a sniper, try to set up here maybe. But it's pretty hard to not get hit, because your hitbox is so huge, and the sniper, which is staying on the other side, can still hit you sometimes, and it's hard to just stay in one spot, because you always will move around and stuff. So as a healer in general on Frogeye, I like to play this spot here, because you're kinda safe against the sniper. See, the sniper can't see me. I can't see the little spot there, and so the sniper can't see me either. But now it's hard for you to heal the point. You need to kind of jump at the wall to get a little bit higher to actually heal the point. But it's not the best spot. So another spot for Pip is while capturing the point next to the little box on my right. So here you can heal the point. You actually can jump a little bit to get better heals on the point, so to say. But if you jump, see, I can see this spot there. So that means the sniper on this side can see me as well. So now if you captured the point, you could try to obviously, well, after capturing the team probably is dead, the enemy team, so just run here to heal your team. Then while you're in this area and a little bit further, try to maybe stay next to the wall, because most of the DPS will stand up there or something or actually there, but I like to stay here. You can heal this area, even this area, and there. Sometimes there it is hard actually, because imagine you're playing against Barrack, he puts down his turret, then you can't heal the others, because the turret is in your way sometimes. So use the wall as well. So you still need to try to stay behind cover while healing here. Then I don't actually like to play here, this spot. Even if your off tank is here or playing the right side, I don't like it, because see how hard it is to heal up there. I mean, you can heal the ramp, yes, that's true, but it's so hard to heal the whole area up here, especially with combat medic. So if your card pushed a little bit further, so maybe your card is here, try to stay behind covers, try to hug this little tree thingy or the wall here, because then see, I can see only the wall and what's happening in front of me. So the DPS and there or there can't actually see me. If the card pushed a little bit further, you could actually try to stay here to heal, but a great spot for Pip
Defend the payload.
is right in this little corner here, because you can hear almost the whole way there, and the DPS on the right side can't see you, because I can't see them either right now, so the right side. So that's great, you can heal the point the whole time, use your potion and stuff, it's easy to heal, but sometimes you want to push up a little bit further, so you could try to hug this wall to heal here, to maybe heal your DPS here, because if you're on this spot here, it's actually hard to heal your DPS up there. They need to walk forward a little bit, so behind the shock, and then they're really in the open. So sometimes you just want to play here. So now to when you want to defend, so imagine the enemy team captures the point, where do you want to play? So in the beginning, obviously, you can play here to heal your tanks, but you need to be careful of the backline, because probably you get flanked by this side. So always try to stay behind cover, and if possible, you never want to be here. So because how easy it is for everyone on the other side, so to say, to actually hit you. So you always want to try to walk by this thingy without staying too long, because then you're in the open. Again, you could try to heal from here, but then there's a possibility you get flanked. Way on the last point fight, you actually could try to stand up here. So now I can't hit the point. Just use the wall jumps to heal the point, make it easier for you. So now you're basically behind cover, but you still can heal your team. Another spot is up here, so then you don't actually have to jump, but then it's easier for the enemy team to actually hit you or to actually kill you. Another option would be like here, because probably playing on the right side, so just stay here, hug the wall to hit the point, but then you're basically in the fight and it's pretty dangerous for you. So that's it for the general tips or advice for Pip and Frogeye, but usually they don't work the whole time, so that's like in a best case scenario, then it works. So first of all, your items, Deft Hands and Nimble are fine, I like it, especially on Combat Medic I like Deft Hands, because you want to heal as much as possible. Your auto attacks are your main resource of healing, so decrease the cooldown, so to say, of your healing, because if you decrease the reload, the only cooldown you have on your main heal, so to say, with Combat Medic Pip, is the reload time. So decrease the cooldown, so to say, in an easy way.
3,
So
2,
now to the other comms, playing against Rom and McCall, which should pretty easy for you to farm your ult, because they are so easy to hit. So easy to charge your ult, because you charge your ult faster if you deal damage as a support. So always try to hit them if possible, if your team is healthy enough. So that's basically what I think about by seeing the combo before the match starts. Your Adler is probably playing on the right side to pressure the backline, so the Jan and your Barrack playing on the point. So you can't stay on the spot I showed you first because of the Lian, but it's fine. So here you're setting up here, and it's fine because you don't see an enemy on the other side. So the sniper spot is pretty uncontested. It's safe for you to play here.
That's some good healing.
Enemies behind.
Most of the flanks in the lower ranks, so to say, actually try to flank. The only thing they do is trying to flank the healer. So I probably would have just checked the right side to see if I get flanked or something, and know before if Moji comes or not. But you hear Moji and you immediately turn around, so to say, and run away. That's fine, because you want to create some distance between you and Moji. I probably would have backed up a little bit earlier, because you were so close to the point, you got a lot of damage. So it's fine to jump out, to run away from the Moji, but after it I would immediately start to back up, because you never want to be in the fight, because they have so many players which are stronger in closer distances. So Furia has a lot of fall off. So if you play against Furia on range, that's actually better for you. But if you're close to Furia, it's easier for her to hit her beam. You want to be far away. Same goes for Makor because of his hook. If you're out of the hook distance, then he can't hook you. You can't get burst down immediately. And for Rom, obviously, it's good as well, because he only gets his soul armor if he's close to you. But that's fine, you live. Just wait until your barrack is back. The slow, I like it. I would have gone actually for the slow, because I would try to use it every time I have it. Maybe you want to save it in case you get flanked again or something. But on the point fight, actually, I would try to use it every time if possible. And here, see, 3 of them are on the point. They don't have any Makor shield or something. So pretty much value for your slow. It's unlucky Makor pulled up his shield, so if you would have slowed a little bit earlier, there wouldn't have been a shield, but you still managed to slow Rom. It's fine. Okay, weird that it works out for you. Usually you don't want to jump on the point, but you manage to jump on the point, get the heal for your tanks and yourself, and get out. So that's pretty lucky, I would say. Usually you never want to escape through the point, so to say. So always try to find another way to escape, not over the point, because everyone is focusing damage on the point. So it's pretty likely for you to die, because you are on the point. You're in the middle of the fight. Try to set up on the little box, I would say, to your left, because Lian is playing the whole time around the point, so she's not using the value of her backline DPS. So usually you want to play Lian a little bit behind. Even if she's playing Alacrity, I would say she could stay a little bit more behind. But she's playing around the point. She's also playing behind cover, so that's fine. She probably can't hit you with her auto attack, with her auto aim. So just set up on the little box to your left to make it easier for you to heal the point, heal your Atlas, or damage the point while shooting on the point. So just make it easier, use the advantage of the high ground. So you don't want to slow the shield, just wait a second. Maybe you just wanted to get out your slow, but try to see what the enemy uses. So if you see they are using Makor sheet, don't use your slow, because the Makor sheet is so huge, probably the whole team is in or behind the sheet, so you can't slow anyone. Just wait another second and until it falls down, and then you can actually slow. So now you use the cooldown without getting value. Here you actually don't have to be that close on the point, because I mean, I understand why you're running on the point. You're afraid Atlas is not touching or something, and you just want to make it easier for you to heal him. But don't be that close on the point if you don't have to touch or something, because here you heal the Atlas, yes, but you also could heal him from a bit further away, and then you're actually out of Rom's range. So here you see the little skull in front of you. That's the soul armor for Rom, and he wouldn't get it. So he get it because he's shooting you. He's creating soul armor while shooting you or while damaging you. So if you be out of range, he still creates the armor, but he can't collect it because you're too far away. That's fine, you're moving up, so to say, rotating a little bit. Yeah, I would have actually healed my money earlier, because see the point is pretty uncontested here. You can't see, or you see no one is on the point here. So your tanks are full HP, that's fine. You don't have to heal the tanks because they are full HP. But the Imani here is actually fighting a 1v1. So maybe you pay attention to the bar in the left corner. So you see how low Imani is on the left corner. So probably keep an eye every time if you can on the left bar to see how your team is doing on HP or something. So it's easier for you. Even if you don't want to look around the whole time, just look in the left corner, then you see how your team is doing. And then if you see someone slow, good start looking around to figure out where they are. So here, just to make it easier for her to win the 1v1, because your tanks didn't need any heal at this point. They were full enough, but the Imani does. So just one potion would have made it. Probably she could still win it, but just to make sure she actually wins it, just heal her and watch out for her. Now you got the heal, okay, that's fine. But again, I think just a little bit earlier, pay attention to it or something.
Show them no mercy.
Now you want to back up, or yes, just walk to the left wall because Shura is so strong. You don't want to be in range or don't want to get damaged that much.
What is this element?
I probably would have jumped in the other direction, because now you're jumping on the point. As I said, you would never want to jump on the point. I mean, you're jumping in the dome shield, that's fine, but if you would have jumped away, it would have been harder for the Makor to actually hit you, and he would have run out of safety, so to say. Because see where he already is, it's hard for his team to help him because he's in your backline. So if you would have jumped back here or something, if he really wanted the kill, he would have walked up to you and then see how hard it actually would have been for his team to support him. So you probably would have got the kill, would have survived, because your team turns around, helps you, and the Makor dies.
Enemy killing
But it
spree.
works out for you. You
Enemy
survive,
double
you still
kill.
got the kill, so that's fine.
Payload
But usually, as I
runs.
said, you
Defend the
never want to
payload.
be on the point as the healer, and always try to escape in the other direction. Set up on the point, your team sets up to zone. Your team is creating some space. You are the one who needs to be on the point, that's actually fine. Here I would have healed my barrack with my potion. So you saw Atlas was up there, he retreated, and you saw your barrack. Saw barrack actually had a little bit more HP, he got damaged now, because I stopped too late or something. But usually when you see your tanks, you want to keep an eye on both of them, or want to keep in mind who you saw. So your Atlas is backing up, so he's kind of in safety, because the enemy team can't see him. See, the Lian is behind cover, Fury is far away, Makor is behind this cover and this rock. Only Moji could poke him with his left click, but her left click doesn't do that much damage. And the Realm is still running, so he can't actually do damage. But your barrack is still in the fight, so that's why you want to throw potion to him, then use the left click or to actually help him and maybe get out as well. But here you're just focusing on the Atlas, because the Atlas was the first one you saw, so to say, because he backed up. But he's actually safe. He doesn't die now. So pay attention to your other team members to actually heal them, make it easier for them to win their 1v1s and to get out of the fight.
Never this cold in Texas.
Probably used your slow to slow the arm, that's fine.
They're behind us.
Can you not? I'm
Yeah,
working
you
on
just
my
want to back up. I think you could have used the potion on yourself. You usually want to wait a second, so to say, because you don't want to ult the Makor shield. I mean, your ult goes through the Makor shield, but you can't deal damage through the shield. So just wait until the shield falls down, and then use your ult to make it easier for your team to finish up the kills.
I'm in your debt, friend. Spree.
Here you actually could try to focus on dealing damage, because see how full your team is, it's actually full HP. So you don't need to hit your shots on your teammates because they are full, and even if they get damaged a little bit, don't heal them, just focus on dealing damage to Rom to charge your ult again because you use it, and you want to kill him as fast as possible.
I did most of that. You were too kind.
And it's fine, just wait for the Aether's ult until it's in. That's great. Set up on the right spot. I don't know why you're peeking, and probably because you want to see who is on right. But see, you're in the open as well. So for them, it's actually really easy to hit you, because they're probably around here, a little bit higher, but like here. So how easy it is for them to hit you, and you don't want to be that open, so to say. So you probably walk around or walk left to see who's right. But if you would have stayed behind this wall here, you can't get hit by them. And if you want to know who's on right, just talk to your Atlas, because he has a great view. Maybe your Nessa as well, yes. And your Barrack can also tell you who's on the right side. So stay behind cover and don't walk in the open, and ask your team to get information, because now you know who's on the right side. But if they focus the whole damage onto you, you die, and you got no value out of your information.
That's some good healing. Barricade going up. Enemy rampage.
That's fine, use your potion. Here, you actually could have used your jump, your weightless. Activate your weightless, and then you're around here, and then it's easy for you to heal the money. So don't give up after you miss the first shot. I always would try to, if you can't hit her, because she was behind the rock, yes, so you can hit her from your position. But if you use your weightless, you get higher in the air, you have kind of high ground, it's easier for you to shoot down and here. So I would have gone for this play actually, but it's fine, she dies, so you probably would have wasted your cooldown, so maybe this was actually the right decision.
I was doing so good.
Focus heal on point on your Atlas. That's fine. Push it in. So now I actually forgot in the beginning. I want to talk about your loadout. Just let me see. So Giver 2 is fine. I actually would do, or would put 1 point more in it, because you, as you can see, you only got healed for 400. Sometimes it feels a little bit weak. I feel like 40% is okay for Mega Potion, because your team gets healed for more. But for Combat Medic, I actually like playing 60%, so Giver 3. Reload 5 is great. This good card, because you still want to play around your potion as much as possible.
3,
Then
2,
I
1.
think it would be better for you to increase the range or the radius of your potion more, especially in Frog Eye, because there are some corners or some walls where you actually need more range to hit your team or your ally you want to heal. So increase the radius, because then you don't have to be that close to actually hit it, because the range, or the rate, not the range, the radius is bigger, so it's easier for you to hit them. So maybe take out 1 point, 2 points out of sturdy or something. Or I would do this. Don't saying you have to do it. I see the value of sturdy, but I feel like 3 points for 9% movement speed is actually a lot. So I don't know if it's worth it to put 3 points into 9% movement speed and just increase the duration of weightless. That's fine for you to be more ways, so to say, especially on Frog Eye. But I personally would increase the radius on your potion, but that's personal preference. You play this loadout, it works out for you, so keep the loadout if you want to keep your airplay safe, so to say. Not saying my ideas are the best. So if this is the loadout you've been come up with and it's working for you, keep the loadout. Don't listen to what I say, because you found a loadout for you which is working. Now your items, you got Chronos 2, that's fine to use your potions more, that's great. I actually would have gone for more defense earlier,
Capture point spawning
but
in
Chronos 2
15
is fine.
seconds.
Show them no mercy.
It's again, that's okay, because you can't see the Lian on the other side, so it's safe to play here. You actually could think about setting up on this spot, because Lian is never playing in the backline. So that would have been what I would have done maybe after I saw her another time not playing in the backline position. And it's fine. Just try to hear your tanks now.
Ladder down.
Aloha, losers. Sharks behind us.
Enemy killing
Nice, focus the
spree.
kill, that's great. Turn around to make it easier for you to heal Barrack, because Mako is playing more on the right side of you, that's fine. Now, you want to get out as soon as possible. I would have tried to get back, because you see the Makoa is pushing up on right side. He's probably going for the kill on Imani. So the second you get your weightless again, try to use your weightless to heal your Mani, Heber and hold. Because you don't pay any attention to the Makoa, but you actually could have seen him if you turned around. Maybe you didn't look to the right or whatever, but she died, you couldn't do much. So, or you didn't do much. Just turn around. Maybe try to heal with a potion if you don't want to use your weightless. Turn around, use a potion to try to heal her.
Under fire.
He can't reach her on distance, he needs to be close. But the better Makor maybe would have cancelled the ult to confirm the kill on her son, then therefore it would have been great to turn around earlier, because you saw her teleporter next to you. Turn around and just heal with one auto attack.
Thanks for the pick me up.
But it works out for you in the end. Keep your team up. It's unlucky you got pushed by the whole team. Not much you can do about it.
Needs to find cover.
Yes, looks like you can't touch because of combat mechanic, but that's fine.
Keep guard.
Stop the payload, peasants! Attack!
Wait for your
peasants!
team. You don't want to be the first one who pushes in.
Here's the catalyst.
Some good healing.
It was actually a early potion. I don't know if I would have used it, because he was behind the sheet. He was tanky enough to actually get pushed or something. So there was enough time for you to use your auto attacks. And don't use your cooldown, obviously. That potion's fine because he was so low. Another burst of Moji would have killed him. Yeah, I actually would have slowed the second Atlas got hooked, just to make it easier for him to de-damage if he doesn't have his rewind, so to say. And just slow the enemy is great. And there were two tanks, so great. Or big slow. Yeah, I actually would jump on this little spot here to be a little bit higher. So it's not much, as you can see, you're already on a high spot, but just to make it even better for you to hit your shots. That's unlucky, you get slowed, and stunned by Sheila. That's great, you miss your shot and then you try to hit the ground to actually hit her, that's great. Now you want to walk back because you don't want to be on the point. The point is contested. Just walk out.
Enemy killing spree.
They're no good
Great
to
slow.
me dead.
Fire.
Enemy double kill.
And then you just finish up the kills. Here you don't need a potion because the enemy team is basically dead. So you killed off a lot of them. Your barrack is in safety, so to say, because the team just respawns. So don't waste your cooldown on your potion, just use your auto attacks because you have enough time to heal him up. That's fine, but now you want to get back because you see where you are. You don't want to be in line of sight of this position. So imagine Lien saw you or dismount early, so she dismounts herself and he hits you with her Q. She's playing alacrity, so her Q only does 800, but still you don't want to get the burst of 800, so try to get back or get behind cover.
Hey, catch!
See, it happened. What I said. She missed her Q, but she still got damaged by a lot. That's fine, just waiting.
Thanks, Doc.
There's an emoji on the right. So pay attention to your Kinessa. Or Liane, actually. Yeah, Imani, sorry.
I'm ready.
Try to walk back now because the team is pushing up. That's fine.
Behind us.
Great wall jump there to get on the high ground. The potion was fine because you didn't know if the team pushes up to kill Atlas. So just give him a burst here. Use your potion. That's unlucky, get stuck on the wall. Yeah, you don't want to jump in the Makor ult. I think you probably did it to help your team because you missed your potion down here. So that's why you wanted to jump in or you wanted to retreat from the team. But the second he activated his ult, don't try to go further in this direction, just try to walk out here, so to say.
Enemy killing spree.
That's fine, they using Moji ult for no reason.
6, 5, 4.
Don't try to heal the money, actually go for the touch early.
Overtime.
Try to stay alive on the point. That's unlucky, but you did the right thing. You were the one who needed to touch. Because you had Imani ult up, so just try to survive on the point and she can finish up the kills with her dragon. So now, Kronos 3 is actually fine, but again, I would have gone for Death Hands, just to make it easier for you to heal. Use your auto attacks more often, so to say. Have a shorter downtime.
Some good healing.
You saw them on the right. You actually could have tried to dismount them or shoot them or something because your barrack was basically full HP and you saw them, so I probably would have walked back now because I know that my Imani and my Kinessa get pushed. So just walk back to this spot to make it easier for you to heal your DPS on the right side and to keep your barrack up on the point. Because now you know that they're getting pushed because you saw them. You basically saw Rom and Moji, or at least one of them. Even if I can see through walls now, I'm sure you could have seen them as well. So now you don't pay any attention to your DPS and just let them play against Moji and Rom on their own. Probably could ult just to make sure Barrack survives. Even if the Makor, this situation here is different, because even if the Makor shield is up, he got hooked in. He's playing against Liane, Makor and Furious, so just throw your ult on the point to only, I think Furious don't get hit by the ult because she's out of range, but you ult Makor and Liane if you throw it right on this spot here. So give Barrack enough time to get out and give yourself enough time to heal him.
Hunker down. Enemy
So now you gun for, actually, now you gun for the ult, but sadly it was a little bit too late because your Barrack was too low. I think it was also a risky ult by Barrack because he was too low. So yeah, just unlucky that he died.
I did know some.
But your team actually wins against Rom and Moji and finished up the kill. That's great for you. Your team actually should go zoning a little bit. It's enough if one is on the point.
Help that tank.
Here's the
Thanks
catalyst.
for the pick-me-up.
Again, you could set up here because Liane is playing around the point, so no no extra pressure for you, or you could set up here just to make it easier for you to heal. But I think you're afraid of the Moji, so that's completely fine to stay here. Great wall jump to close the distance and to get to your team, get out.
Push the payload, peasants.
Why we stand on
Defend
this.
the payload.
So you heard Moji on your right side because of her laughter or whatever it was. So I would pay attention to your right side or to your backline, so to your Nessa.
Enemy killing spree.
You actually, your Nessa's nuts, she kills the Moji.
I feel young again.
Just walk back, yes, that's right. Stay behind. No, you don't want to run into this Makor shield because it's so dangerous. The team is probably, so the enemy team is probably playing in this shield or around this shield. And they actually can shoot through the shield. So you never want to run in. I know you want to run in because you wanted to heal a barrack, but see, he's full HP. No need for you to actually run in. And if he runs in that far and can't get out, then it's not your fault. You did everything you could. So just stay behind and don't walk into the Makor shield. But it's lucky you get out.
Well played.
Still, I would stay a little bit more behind because see how close you were. How easy it would have been for the enemy team. See, your barrack pushed up. It wasn't your fault. You didn't retreat. You did everything you could. So just stay behind. That's great. I like it. You try to play on the high ground. I like it. And you also stay behind this tree. So even if Dilian is sitting up there, so if she's on the sniper spot, you're kind of safe. Just because your team is playing around this spot. So therefore, even if they have a sniper or something, this spot is great to play on the high ground, but you're also on the cover, so it's actually great.
Here's the catalyst.
You hear Moji on your left, so maybe pay attention to your left side.
Never this cold and Texas.
I probably would jump down now, because the team, yes, is pushing up. So when I say I would have jumped down, I would have retreated. I would have backed up to maybe here, because the team got the kill on Imani, and the team gets really aggressive if they are ulting. So they use ROM ult, so a lot of teams or a lot of players actually run in no matter what. Even if they don't get kills, they just run in because they used an ult. So that's why I would have retreated a little bit earlier, and then you probably wouldn't get that much damage. Now just try to get out.
We are as
Enemy double kill. Enemy killing.
So here, don't use your cooldown. You can't heal the Nessa when she's falling in the water. So even if you heal her, she dies anyway. So don't use your cooldown, don't use your time, don't use your potion on an ally who is already dead. So you could have used your potion here, get the reset, make it easier for you to sustain your barrack and your Atlas. Don't go for heals on a dead ally.
Enemy rampage.
I'm in your debt, friend.
Always try to stay behind the Atlas wall, because it's just so safe for you, they can't damage you through it.
Why are you shooting at me?
30 seconds remaining.
Nothing.
That's fine, you can't do much. No, try to deal as much damage as possible, because your team was basically full HP.
15 seconds remaining.
That's fine.
10.
Try to walk back a little bit, because the Atlas wall ends soon.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
That's fine, you're the one going for the touch.
Enemy
Don't
killing
pay attention to
spree.
your team, because you were the one who was the mobile, so to say. So it was the easiest for you to touch. You actually got the touch, so now want you to get out, because your barrack is on the point now, you got the touch, you got the overtime, so no need for you to actually stay on the point, so just walk off.
Enemy double kill.
Putting a sentry.
Exactly, try to stay behind cover. So you saw the emoji on the right, so probably pay attention to your Nessa if she gets damaged. So you don't have to turn around, but just look in the left corner to see how she's doing on HP.
That's some good healing. They're shooting at me.
Weather this storm.
But she got the kill without your help.
That's the stuff.
Frigna.
Why?
I actually would wait a little bit longer to walk here, because see, the card isn't pushed up fully to this point, so even if you get body blocked by the card, so they can't hit you directly through the card, but the card isn't here, so here you're in the open, you're the first one for them to see, so you're the first one who gets focused, so you never want to be the first one, so just wait another second or two to push up to this point.
Enemies behind us.
But here you actually can't push further because of the team contest. Then I would want you to set up here or maybe here, so to make it easier, and don't be in the fight, because here you're basically in the fight. You don't want to be in the fight. Your money dies, the rest of your team dies as well. Now you actually could walk out, because there's no way you keep pushing the card. Your team died. It's only you and Barrack. So you can't actually keep Eric up, because there are just too many enemies to keep him up. Here I would just walk on. Okay, it's Nessa as well. I didn't see her, but anyway, just walk out. There's no way you keep him up. So if you walk out, you don't die. You don't give them any credits for damage or for the kill in the overtime. So after the round ended, basically. So just make sure to walk out, because there's no way to keep him up. Walk out and don't give them credits. It's not even a bad play to let him die, because you know there's no way how you could have saved him, because just he would have died anyway. Just try to get out if possible. Don't give them credits. So now you got Death Dance 3. I like it. It's great. I would have went for it earlier, but it's fine. It's actually fine.
Time is on our side.
Let's make this
Okay,
interesting.
I must admit I don't like the ult at all, because yeah, Atlas ulted, and basically Atlas is so strong, so he ults your enemy, the enemy can't get healed, but you also can't do damage or can't CC them. So that's why you don't want to use Atlas ult and Pip ult at the same time, so to say. Plus, the Makor popped his shield. Maybe the animation of your ult just took too long to actually come out, so to say. But usually you can expect that when Makor comes on the point, the first thing he does is pop his shield. So wait, see if he pops his shield, and then maybe consider ulting, but don't press E immediately after seeing the enemies, because Makor probably uses his shield and then you can't deal damage to them, because the cooldown is too long, or the uptime of the shield is too long and has too much HP to kill in time. Plus, I think your Makor has resilience. Yes, he does. So he isn't affected the whole time. So you really need to kill him fast, and the Atlas ult. So that's what I don't like about the play here.
Hey, catch!
That's fine. Can't do much about it. He gets ulted. Okay, so this is basically the best what could have happened for you or for your team. Just because they use so many ults, they didn't really need the Makor ult, I think, because there were many people alive of the team. They didn't need the Fury ult at all, because you basically were dead, your whole team was dead. So they wasted a lot of ults. They used Rom ult to counter the Dome Shield, that's fine, but the other ults they didn't really need. So you gave you a better opportunity to retouch and to actually win the fight now. I don't like yourself dismounting yourself that early, because you don't need to heal your team there, and yeah, just easier to
Thanks for the
come closer
pick-me-up.
to the point with your horse. Because now you used your cooldown, you're weightless. Didn't have to use your cooldown if you would have stayed on your horse. And your barrack actually is going too early for the touch, so he should have waited or should have walked with you, with his team, to touch, because now he gets hooked in and probably dies. He tried to heal him, yes,
Enemy
but yes, he dies, so that's actually bad. This is also bad misplay by your Atlas. He used his rewind too early, so he was almost full HP. You were behind him, so you healed him the whole time. You kept your heals up on him. You almost was full HP, so he didn't have to rewind that early. So now he doesn't have his rewind and probably dies.
Totally stings.
Enemy rampage.
So now I want you to just walk back. I don't like the touch, because see, the enemy team isn't on the point. They are all around the point, and they only have 93%. So just walk back. Don't use a weightless cooldown, because you needed to actually touch then. But walk back, wait 0.5 seconds, 1.5 seconds to get the cord off, so to say. Heal yourself with a potion, and then at 96% start your weightless cooldown. Use this wall to wall jump, to immediately jump on the point, because then you only need one jump to jump on the point and touch perfectly at 99%. Because now you touched, you triggered overtime, yes, but you touched too early, so you need to touch again earlier. If you would have touched at 99%, then the overtime would have started, and you would have had enough time to retouch again. But now
Enemy double kill.
you're playing around the point, because you know you have to touch again, and your barrack isn't in range, and you died. So you touched too early. It's enough to touch at the expire time of the overtime. So if you would have waited a little bit longer, see, the barrack would have been able to touch the point, to actually contest the point longer. And he got actually stunned. That's unlucky. Well, what I think you could improve: try to use your potions when you really need them. So don't use them on allies. Maybe he was in your party or something, and that's why you wanted to heal him anyway. But just don't use them on dead allies, because then you wasted your cooldown with no value. So try to use them when you actually need them. Don't use your potions on enemy or on allies who are tanky enough or who have enough HP to hit them with your auto attacks. Don't use your potions when the enemy is dead or out of line of sight, because then you have enough time to actually heal your team up with your auto attacks. Another thing, just watch on your positioning. Don't jump in or don't jump on the point without maybe using your ult or something. If you use your ult, then it's fine to jump in, jump on the point. But if you're not jumping in, if you're not ulting, if you jump in just to escape, that's not good. But because you get pushed, probably get damaged, then jump on the point, get more damage, and you're really low. So try to jump out. If you get pushed, try to jump in your backline, not on the point, because I think in future games and higher rank games, you will probably die on the point if you push in. And just analyze the situation. So if you see Lian is not playing in the backline, or they don't have a real deep backline DPS because Lian wants to play on the point, just set up on the sniper point, because then you're really safe. It's hard, you're further behind, so it's harder for the enemy to actually hit you because you have more distance, or you got hit by less damage because the enemy has damage fall off. So you could have set up on the sniper point and just try to not walk on the point, or just keep some distance, and yeah, just try to play around cover sometimes, or don't walk into to heal your team. If your team overextends and doesn't retreat, it's not your fault if they die. So stay in your spot. You know it's safe, it's the best, or it's the right play to stay there. Then stay there. Don't walk to your team and heal them, because if they messed up, if they don't retreat, it's not your fault. Just let them die. And just general advice: if you see there's no chance to push it in, and you would die, or you will die if you don't get out in overtime, let your tank die and just get out, because you don't give them credits then if you survive. So that's my advice for you. I think your Pip gameplay is already pretty good, but you still can improve what I told you. So I think there's every time there's something you could improve, but generally your Pip gameplay is already pretty good, I think. That's it for today's video. I hope you could learn something. The others who didn't play, so to say, could learn something as well. If you want me to do a video review for you as well, or a gameplay review, just let me know and tell me. You could send them in. If you give me a match ID, I can replay them and same what I did with this player. So there are coming more coaching sessions in the future, so to say. So thanks for watching. Hope you had a great or have a great day. Always remember and never forget, you're awesome.